So today we are making a video on the Nobara project 40. So already made the KDE Plasma desktop environment of Nobara 40 yesterday. So here is the default or the flagship edition of Nobara 40. So the Nobara 40 KDE Plasma desktop environment was too much laggy and it wasn't working properly. So if you want, you can check that video. So let's see how this version will work. So these are all the stable ISO files. So I did worked on the KDE Plasma version yesterday. So it had some bugs, and you should watch all those videos before watching this video. And I forgot to mention that I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is VMware with 60 GB of hard disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So basically, it should take like 2 minutes or 3 minutes in my laptop to load up the desktop layout. So I forgot another thing that there will be misspellings and misspeaking throughout the videos. So you need to try to ignore that because I'm trying to give the best content. So that's the reason I'm keeping the video as raw as possible. So there will be some misspellings and mistakes. So try to ignore all those things. So it's taking still more seconds. So I will stop talking right now. So it should take like 3 or 4 minutes. And I'm going to mention how much of time it consumed to load up the desktop layout. So here we have the desktop layout. So it took almost 4 minutes to load up the desktop layout, and I think it's going to be same as the KDE Plasma because I don't know, there is you can see that the mouse pointer isn't working properly. So it's a bit of lag, and it's kind of not smoothly moving, as you can see. But let's try to see the system resources by first closing the installer. I'm going to show you the installation and all those things. So let's first change the display settings. Even the KDE Plasma yesterday was consuming a lot of CPU resources, and the RAM was also a lot in the KDE Plasma version. So again, this is not the GNOME desktop environment, it's the other desktop environment. So you get a lot of ISO files in the Nobara project of 40, like 5 ISO files. 2 are for something. I'm going to show all those things in the website. So let's first check the system monitor and go to their official website. And again, we have issue with the CPU in the standard ISO file also. Yesterday the KDE Plasma was also consuming 100% of a CPU, and it was 1.8 GB or around 1.7 1.9 GB of resources consuming. So we need to face the same issue in the standard ISO file also. I don't know how it performs in the GNOME desktop environment. So if you want, I'm going to make that video also, so you can judge on those 3 desktop environments to use what Linux distro you want. So I'm going to open the overview, and let's first check all the applications and all those things, and we're going to keep the system monitor in the right side corner. So these are all the resources. So KDE Plasma version 6.1.1. so this is not the complete KDE Plasma ISO file. So this is the standard ISO file. So it says as Nobara Linux 40 KDE Plasma. I'm going to show you all those files and ISO files right in front of you. So applications, here is the applications. I think this is the customized ISO file, I guess, from the Nobara project. Again, you get the YAM extender, and you get the updates here. I'm going to close it, or else let's first open the YAM extender and show that. So you can add the pages. So you already know how to use the KDE Plasma. So you get the 6.1.1 KDE Plasma desktop environment for the standard, and the KDE Plasma desktop environment of Nobara. You get the 2 ISO files. So process, it's taking a lot of time. So even the general KDE Plasma desktop environment yesterday was too much laggy. So we should be expecting the same thing in the KDE Plasma also. So here it's taking time to do all those things. So instead of waiting for that, let me open the Firefox web browser. So it's a bit of better from the KDE Plasma yesterday. So I'm going to show all those official website and ISO files and the changes. So here you have the updates. Let's go to the Flatpaks queue, and here are the about YAM extender. So I think this should be the same thing also so it's taking a lot of time to open the process. So I'm going to keep it on the overview, and as you can see the system resource, let's try to make it smaller. So that's the thing you get. So let's open the official website now. So it's way laggy, same as the KDE Plasma desktop environment from yesterday's video. So this is a standard ISO file. You get the KDE Plasma with the customized themes and all those things. So let me close it. Let me type about support to get the some browser information and distro information. About support. So I already typed. It took like a 2-3 milliseconds of delay. Read everything here because it's going to take a lot of time. So the version you get 127. So the desktop environment and the information, complete information is right in front of you. Just pause the video and read everything on your own. So it's too much laggy to use. Window protocol, it's a Wayland. Desktop environment is a KDE. So these are all the some of the important information. Just pause the video and read everything. So let me go to the official website now. Nobara Linux, or else you can just type in Nobara project.org. So this is the link. Let's click on the link. As soon as you move the mouse pointer, the CPU will be going up for some reason. Keep an eye on the CPU and RAM, so you can judge whether to use this version or not. So the older version or the previous version was properly those versions were good. It was not consuming a lot of resources. So this is the version I downloaded, which is Nobara's custom themed version of KDE Plasma. So this is the version we are using right now. So yesterday I downloaded the KDE with a clean version of KDE Plasma desktop environment. You will be seeing all the KDE Plasma default things. So the customized version is a bit better than the KDE Plasma, but not best. It's still worse, as you can see, because of the CPU resources. I don't like this version, but the older version or the previous versions were working properly. So here is the Nobara 40 official. So the version which I downloaded is this one, and we still need to test the GNOME version, and we yesterday tested the KDE Plasma version. So if you want, you can check those videos from yesterday, and you still get the Steam HTPC and the Steam handheld ISO files. So I can't test both of this, but I already tested these two, and we need to test the GNOME version. If you want, I will be making the video from tomorrow in the tomorrow's video. So let's go and changelog or check the changelog to see the changes. So here are all the changes. Yesterday I already mentioned and showed everything, so you don't need to worry about anything. I'm going to show everything in this video also. So these are all the gaming things, content creations. So just pause the video and read everything, or just go to their website to get all the information. So let me close it because we have pretty much got everything. So let me open the console. Before that, let's see what are the applications we get pre-installed in this ISO file. So these are all the applications you get from the some are from the KDE Plasma and from the Nobara project also. So you get 4 or 5 applications from the Nobara, same as the KDE Plasma desktop environment from yesterday's video. You get the same things here, but they will be seeing KDE with the customized themes and all those things. So let's open the console and type some commands. So when typing a single K, it automatically types double because of the CPU. Because of that lag, it will be typing like that. So let's try to make the screen bigger and let me show you all the commands. So it's better than the the KDE Plasma version. So it is still better, not the best, but still better from the previous video or the yesterday video. Let's check the about information or the console information, what version we get. So this is the version we get. Let me type in INXI, hit enter. So here you have all the CPU, kernel and storage and INXI, all those versions. Just pause the video and read everything. I'm not going to go through all those things because it's going to make a video lengthy. INXI -b. So here you get all those information. Just pause the video and read everything. INXI-F. So you get all the graphics and CPU and all those information. So drives, partitions and all those things. INXI-G. So you got all the Vulkan and the OpenGL version, all those things. So let me type in NeoFetch. So here is the NeoFetch. Uptime is 13 minutes. INXI-SV8. So we pretty much got all the distro information. Just pause the video and read everything. You should be getting all the information right here. So let me type in htop. So command not found. So let's close the terminal. Let's open and see the installation or the installer. Need to double click. So it's going to take a few seconds to open the installer. So you basically get the installer in the beginning. It automatically opens up. So always test it in the live boot or in the virtual disk and then go with the installation. So there will be some issues, so that's the reason. Always try it in the live boot or maybe the virtual machines, and then if you're satisfied, then go with the installation in the main PC or work PC. So about Calamares installer, you get the 3.3.6 for Nobara 40. So I don't know what's wrong with this version, or maybe the desktop environment we are choosed. Even the KDE Plasma yesterday's videos and the themed KDE Plasma are having issues. I don't know how it works on the GNOME desktop environment. We need to see that video in tomorrow's video. So first you get the language selection. Choose your language, whatever your language is. After clicking on next, you should be seeing a map of a location. Choose the map, or you can choose the drop down menu here. So the system languages will be set to American English, United States. If you want, you can keep it or you can customize. The numbers and date locales will be set to American English, United States. If you want, you can keep it the default one, or the changes you can change up to your according. So click on next, and here you need to choose your keyboard. So there are plenty of keyboards available. So mine is Dell. I'm going to choose the Dell and choose the language for the keyboard. So here are some variants. If you want, you can go and check other variants if you want. Here is the switch keyboard, and here you can type here to test your keyboard. You can test your keyboard here. Click on next, and you should be seeing the two options, which is erase disk and manual partitioning. First you need to choose your hard disk here. So if you have multiple hard disk, choose the multiple hard disk. So if you have a VMware, you need to go with the VMware. So that means you are trying it on the virtual machine, which is VMware, or you should be seeing VBox for the virtual box. So always try it in the virtual box, VMware, or else like a live boot, and if you're satisfied, then go with the installation. So in my point of view, the KDE Plasma versions, desktop environments, both the themed version and the basic KDE Plasma version ISO files are taking a lot of CPU resources and RAM also. So I don't recommend those distros or those desktop environments of Nobara Project 40. So I didn't test the GNOME 40 version, so GNOME 46 version. So if you want, I'm going to make a video tomorrow, so we should check that version and decide whether the Nobara Project 40 is consuming a lot of CPU, or the KDE Plasma desktop environment of Nobara is consuming that much of resources. So we can decide on that. So the erase disk option is like it's a single boot option, or it's going to erase or delete the current operating system, or whatever the files or documents, whatever it's available in that specific hardware or the hard disk you choose. It's going to delete all those things, and it's going to install the Nobara 40 on that hard disk. So the manual partitioning is like you need to create a partition before choosing this option. So you should be getting two operating systems in your PC. So that's the meaning of manual partitioning. You should be getting two options or dual boot options. So choose whatever you want. So if you didn't understand, or if you don't know how to install the Linux distros on the virtual disk or a main disk, you need to watch tutorials of other channels, like 5 to 6 channels, and you should be getting an idea of how to install the Linux distro on the hard disk or a virtual disk. So I already made videos on the installation in my channel, but I don't really remember in which video I installed a Linux distro on the hard disk or a virtual disk, because I almost covered like 3000 videos. It's pretty much very hard to point out in which Linux distro, in which video I installed Linux distro. So that's the reason it's better to watch other channels. And also my videos will be lengthy, so it's better to watch some short videos, so you should understand easily and without boring. So when you choose the options, you should be getting the encrypt system. So you can provide the password in both the boxes. Like this, you need to provide the password which should be same in both the boxes. If you don't want, just keep it unchecked, and you should be going with the next option, which is a bootloader location. So you should be getting the default option, and the other one is do not install a bootloader location. So you can do that later. So you should be already a pro if you are choosing these options. So after choosing everything, click on next. So you need to provide the username and the computer name and all those things. So let me randomly type something. Let me type 9to5Linux. What name do you want to use to log in? Unboxing. What is the name of this computer? You can name whatever you want. For the password, I'm choosing the simple password. So the password is wrong, so that's the reason you should be seeing the wrong thing, or a wrong symbol, or the error symbol. So if everything is good, you should be seeing all the tick marks beside the boxes. So if you want to log in automatically without asking for the password, check this option, or else you can do that. So use the same password for the administrator account. If you want the same password as the above, you should be choosing this option, or else you can provide the different password for the administrator account. So after clicking on next, you should be seeing the summary of whatever you chose in the previous installation steps. So if everything is good, you should be clicking on install. If anything is wrong, you can just go back and try to fix everything on your own. So the installation process will take like 20 to 25 minutes, depends on the PC and depends on the ISO file, whether it's a beta version or a stable version. So in this case, it's a stable version. Sometimes if you download a beta version or the development version, there should be some errors, maybe the installation errors. Sometimes the installation will fail. So that's the reason you need to download the stable ISO files. So most of the cases, even its beta version, development version will be installed properly, but in some rare cases it should be happening like installation errors or installation failed. So I'm not going to install the Nobara project on the hard disk or a virtual disk, because I need to make another video. So that's the reason. So we pretty much covered everything. So let's check the desktop and wallpapers and some desktop features. So in the KDE Plasma version, you didn't get any wallpapers or anything in the basic KDE Plasma desktop environment of Nobara 40. But in this case, you are getting a bit of 4 or 5 wallpapers maybe, or maybe plenty of wallpapers. So as you can see, even the wallpapers taking a lot of time to load. So you get some customized wallpapers here. So if you want, you can change. I'm going to choose this one. Let me click apply. So you get tons of wallpapers from the Nobara 40 and from the KDE Plasma itself also. So customize according to your wish. So after changing the wallpapers, let's check the desktop features. So date and time same. So these are all some so the icons are changed. So it's a customized KDE Plasma, so that's the reason. And there was a lag again. Let's go to the file manager. So let's check the version. So the default KDE Plasma version was a bit of laggy, and it's pretty much was hard to even move the applications, but this one is better than that. So it's not the best, but still better. So that was the version. So here you get the folders. If you want, you can view the folders like kernel. If you want customize, you can customize. So again, these are all the things which can be customized. So I'm going to do a stress test, which I usually do in every of my Linux videos. So let's try to open the applications. So people who doesn't know what is stress test in my channel, like basically I open a bit of resource consuming applications, for example GIMP and Inkscape, Krita, Kdenlive. So these are all the applications, maybe the Blender also. So this type of applications which will consume a bit of resources. So when we open like maybe 15 to 20 applications, or maybe at least 8 to 10 applications, we should find any errors or the like a not responding pop-ups and errors, or maybe the bugs. So this will conclude, or this will help us to use so we can judge whether to use this version of Linux distro or not. So we can decide on all those things. So not only you just judge. So the basically thing is like don't judge on just stress test. You need to see all those things, like it's consuming a lot of resources or not, and you are getting any errors or pop-ups on the screens, like bugs or something like that, or the application crashes. So you need to consider all those things and judge whether to use those version or the specific Linux distro. So you need to do all those things before judging the Linux distro or the specific version. So if you find any bugs or any crashes, it's better to wait for another version, or you can go with the previous version, which are pretty much good. So you can judge by doing this stress test and all those things. So that's the reason I will do all those type of test and test everything possible to help a normal user to use for day-to-day task. So that's the meaning of stress test. So let's open the applications and see whether we get any crashes or any lag or anything like that. So everything opens instantly. So let me open the, you get the games on the graphics. Let's open Inkscape. So let me show, I think I already shown all the pre-installed applications which you get. So these are all the pre-installed applications you get from the Nobara 40 KDE themed version. So you don't get any bloatware applications, just some basic day-to-day task wall applications. So let's run LibreOffice. So by running some bit of resource consuming applications, so a normal user can decide whether to use this Linux distro or not, or the specific version. So that's the main objective of this stress test. I will be opening a bit of resource consuming applications. Like we already opened Firefox. Let me open web apps. On the multimedia, we don't get anything. Let's open Elisa and the camera app also. So we pretty much opened a few apps, and as you can see, there is a major lag. So you can judge whether to use this version or not by seeing all these things. So the negative points or my thoughts on this Linux distro is, so first point is it consumes So here is the pop-up. So you can judge whether to use this Linux distro or not by searching, and you should be getting all those errors and consuming a lot of resources. So you can easily judge by seeing this video. So it's clearly up to you to use it or not. In my point of view, it's having a lot of issues, like KDE Plasma version or the Nobara KDE Plasma version in this specific version is having issues. The previous version was good. I didn't test the GNOME version, so I need to test the GNOME version, and we need to decide whether it's from the KDE Plasma Nobara version or maybe the complete Nobara 40 version is having an issue. So we need to find it after making a video of GNOME 46 of Nobara 40. So I'll be making a video tomorrow, so we should be getting an exact answer for that. So I think we opened almost everything, I guess. So these are all the resources which consumes a lot of, not lot, it will consume a bit of resources. So we pretty much opened all the applications which consumes resources. So let's try to switch the applications and see whether it will crash or we have any lag or anything like that. So while switching the applications, we didn't see any lag or anything like that, but the CPU and the RAM consumption is a lot just for the Firefox web browser and like Inkscape. So let's check the system monitor and see how much of resources it's consuming. So it's almost 3.8 GB. CPU is not pretty much stable. So the Firefox is consuming 550 MB. So that's a problem. Package Manager of Nobara is consuming 240 MB or 235 MB. So these are all consuming a bit of resources. Applications, here is the history, process. So still it's loading. Even in the beginning it was still loading, so I don't know what's the issue with the KDE Plasma version or the Nobara version. So I'm going to keep it overview. So the applications are switching instantly, as you can see. Everything is working properly. But there is no smooth thing in the Linux distro of Nobara. So you see a lot of lags and hiccups here and there. So it's not a smooth experience while using the Nobara 40 KDE Plasma, both the version which is themed version and the basic KDE version. So let's check the application information and end the video. So you get the LibreOffice version, this one. So Inkscape, you get the 1.3.2. So let me close the Inkscape. So Elisa, you should be getting this version. So basically all the KDE desktop environment version will be 24.0.5. So Kate, you should be getting the same version. Let me close. So the browser version we already saw. So the file manager already saw. Let me close the Inkscape. So these are all the updates. So if you want, you can apply the updates. So there is a major lag while moving the applications. So we already saw the Inkscape version. Let me close it. So these are all the packages available. So let me close it. So here is the cameras. So I think I'm going to end the video here because we pretty much covered everything. So if I forgot anything, do let me know in the comment section. So I already said my final thoughts also. It's clearly up to you. We already saw some errors and issues, and it's consuming a lot of system resources also. So it's pretty much no for me, and it's clearly up to you to whether to judge it on your own whether to use this Linux distro or not. So by the end of the video, these are all the resources and these are all the applications. So I'm going to end the video. So it's going to start the update, so I'm not going to do that. So let's check the logout screen and end the video. So I'll be making 2 videos daily. So if you want to so I already posted that video. If you want to check that out, you can check it out. So if you didn't find that video, the video should be available in a few hours, so don't worry, the video will be available for sure. So this is the logout screen, and let me end the video here. Thanks for watching. Peace out.